find out what's happening in Braamfontein at Wits at the moment. Students there say they're undeterred and they will continue with their protest today. Nkosazana Dambuza still following that story for us. And Nkosazana, we understand that protest or that march expected to get underway now. What's happening there at the moment?
Yes, Viveka. In fact, Wits students are slowly gathering just behind me here on Jan Smuts Avenue. And just to let you know, we have confirmed that 6 students were arrested yesterday during those violent protests. We understand that they were released on bail later in the evening and they will be appearing in the Hillbrow Magistrates Court this morning. But to talk more on that, I'm joined by Mpendulo Mfera, who is the Wits SRC president. Thank you so much for your time, Mpendulo. Can you just tell us, perhaps, give us your sentiments following, the killing of an innocent civilian yesterday and also the arrest of some of your students?
First and foremost, I want to say sincerest condolences to the family of Mthokozi Sintumba. His death was an unfortunate one, and it speaks largely to the police brutality in our country currently as we speak. The violence that is met by black people when they are protesting or trying to make their demands heard by either the government or any sector of society is an alarming one. So I want to send my sincerest condolences to the family, and I hope going forward the situation will be handled better by the police.
Now, your Wits Vice-Chancellor is currently addressing the media. Are you interested to hear what he has to say?
So he's a pop star, right? And I think it's a tradition of Wits Vice-Chancellors to become a pop star, right? Because he's refused to meet with the SRC or student leaders for a number of months now, right? We are yet to meet with Zebulon Vilakazi to discuss our issues and demands. And we hope that when he does eventually decide to meet us, he will actually meet our demands, right? I think he's avoiding us because he really doesn't want to give in to any of the demands that we've made, but he wants to shape a narrative in the media that directs otherwise.
What do we expect to happen throughout the day today?
So what we expect to do throughout the day today, the plan was to initially launch an urgent application to the Constitutional Court, and the application will largely speak to, first, the NEFSA's problems that are faced by all students in the country, and second and foremost, I think the question of free education in our country. It's in the Bill of Rights, and we've looked at it, and most advocates are saying, look, this is actually something that can be tackled. So the plan was primarily to head to the Constitutional Court, and we hope that we are going to have someone to receive us there.
And which organizations will be joining you in your protest action today?
A number of organizations have pledged their support. SAFTU has pledged its support. ASAU, NEHAU, NUMSA, and a number of workers have pledged their support. The ANC Youth League in Johannesburg has pledged its support. The EFF, obviously, on campus has pledged its support. And there's many other societies and CSOs, churches that have pledged their support. We're waiting for them to come. The number is quite small as it stands currently.
It was Minister Bladen Zimande who said this week that perhaps students were misled by former President Jacob Zuma in his promises back in 2017 that the Commission would consider funding all students from disadvantaged backgrounds. Is your protest today really about the promises that were made in the past that you would be funding?
So I think it's narrow and unfair to limit it to the promises that were made in the past. And it's delusional of Blade to say the promises are misleading because he was Minister of Higher Education at the time, right? And he would have been a minister in the cabinet of Jacob Zuma at the time when NEFSA was moved from bringing a loan to bring a grant, right? So for you to say, look, there was a misleading, and for you to have kept quiet at the time, it means you are misleading not only us, but even yourself, right? You lie so much so that you've convinced yourself of the lie that it's true, right? So
I'm just going to have to leave it there with you, Mpendulo, but thank you so much for your comments. Okay, there you have it, Viveka. A number of organizations will be joining this protest in solidarity with the students who are fighting against student debts.
Right, Nkosazana Dambuza, thanks so much. You'll continue to watch that protest there in Braamfontein. Meanwhile,